Hi, this is Frank with Rottie I.T. I'm here with Rachel Bear. We're in Balboa Park over by the garden on the east side of Balboa Park. It's beautiful over here. We've had a lot of rain this winter, and so everything is in bloom. I was thinking about ownership recently. I want to talk quickly about the subject of ownership, mine and yours. There's two kinds of ownerships. There's your ownership and my ownership. So here's a quick story. I've been studying martial arts my whole life, ever since high school. Not my whole life, but ever since high school, different kinds of martial arts. And a while back, I had some reconstruction surgery that I needed on one of my joints. So I spent a lot of time researching the best doctors in Southern California who could do this type of procedure. Found one. I'm leaving a lot out because I'm trying to tell this story quickly. But this was a big deal. This was majorly invasive surgery. It was a complete reconstruction. Anyway. So I'm coming out of surgery, and this was I genuinely did find, thankfully, one of the best doctors in Southern California for this procedure. Before I went into surgery, the whole time I was thinking, all right, as soon as I get done with surgery, I want to get out of this hospital as quick as possible. I want to start walking around. I want to start moving. I want to get home as soon as possible because I got to walk the dog. I mean, really, I just want to get out of the hospital. And I want to be home, right? So surgery's over and I wake up in the hallway. It was just a few minutes after the surgery, and the physician assistant was standing in the doorway with his gown and his mask still on. He says, "Oh, you're awake." And I thought, "Oh, I'm awake." So I start moving around because I was looking at the tubes, all the equipment they had hooked up to me, and I started trying to pull it apart. And he said, "Stop, what are you doing? Just lay still, just relax." And I stopped. And then when he wasn't looking, I started again. I started to see if I could get up. I started to see if I could move. I was still in the hallway. The surgery had just ended. They were just cleaning up the operating room from the surgery. I wasn't even in my room yet, but I was already half awake and I was trying to get out of there. And so I start moving around and try to get off the gurney in the middle of the hallway. He turns back and he catches me moving. And he goes, "Stop!" He goes, "You're gonna mess it up." And I froze because I thought, "Oh my God, I don't want to mess it up." I really don't know if it was the physician's assistant or the physician himself because I was under anesthesia still, and I couldn't tell from the mask who it was. But whoever it was clearly didn't want me messing up their work. It's my body, right? I'm paying for the operation, me and my insurance, my co-pays. If I want to mess it up, I'll mess it up, right? It's my body. But it was his work. That's the difference. I own my body, but he owned the work. So when I come in, and anyone who's very good at what they do, who takes what they do very seriously, has a high degree of ownership with regard to their work. So I've had clients, okay, here's another story. So I had a client, I had built up a brand new server for him. This was a little while ago, and it was a lot. There's a lot. I don't have time in the breadth of this video to get into what's involved with setting up a server. And his entire company ran on this server. All the information, everything he did for the whole company, all of his clients and all of his coworkers, he owned the company, so it's his workers, his employees. This whole server needed to run properly in order for his business to run. This is a big deal. So it took a while to get that set up and to get that running. And when I did, I kind of went over some things and how it was done and what he might want to do. And he says, I think I can handle it, Frank. And I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, if I need you, I'll call you because I think I know enough about what I'm doing to manage the server is what he was saying. I go, really? I'm thinking to myself, if you knew that, why'd you call me to build? I didn't say this, but I'm thinking, well, why'd you call me to build the server in the first place if you knew? But I didn't say that. So there's a lot that goes into maintaining a server in your database and everything else that you're doing. But he insisted. He said, "It's my server, Frank." He goes, I could do what I want. I said, "It is your server. You can do what you want." Of course, naturally, I'm never going to tell you that what you paid for it doesn't belong to you. Of course, it's your server. If you need me for anything, please don't hesitate to call. He said, "Okay." 6 months go by, and I don't hear from him. I haven't heard from him for 6 months, and suddenly he calls me one day, and his server had crashed, and I was very upset about it. He goes, "I don't know what happened." He goes, he did something. He mentioned something that he said he did that he was trying to do, something went wrong, and now the server crashed and he couldn't get into it at all. I asked him a couple of questions. I said, about what he did, and wasn't really sure what he had done or what he had been doing. You know, he was he admitted that. I said, "Can you see your dad?" He goes, "No." He goes, "I can't see anything on my hard drive." I said, Anyway, he wasn't happy. He said, "It seems like," he goes, "you could be a little bit," this is what he said to me. He goes, "You could be a little bit more upset, Frank." I go, "It's not my server, it's your server. I told you, call me. No, I told you it wasn't a good idea." And I took no joy in that. I don't want to see his guy's computer crash, his server crash. It upset me. It upset me because I spent a lot of time and effort getting that thing running perfectly. Anyway, it's starting to get dark. I'm losing light, and I gotta go feed baby. So the point is, as I said earlier, there are two kinds of ownership. You own the property. You own when you own something, it belongs to you. When you paid for it, it belongs to you. When it's your property, it belongs to you. You own it. It's yours. But my work is mine. Right? So when I go into an office and I'm working on something and I get the network right and I get this program right and I get this configuration right and I get the security right and I get all these things right, those of us, like myself, like my physician, you're that good at what you do because you take what you do so seriously. That's why you're that good at what you do, because you take ownership of what you do. When you take ownership of what you do, there's a part of it that belongs to you, the work. The work belongs to you, the work belongs to me. What you own is your property, but the work that goes into it, for those of us who take our work as seriously as we do, that work is ours, our fingerprints are on it. I can see it. If I haven't been in an office in a while and I go into the office and I see something that doesn't look right, I'll say, "There's somebody in this office working on this in the past couple of months?" No. I can see it. Because we know when we work, we know what looks like our work. We can see our fingerprints on our work when we're good at what we do. It's very important to remember that. You want to find somebody who does that. You want to find somebody working on your computer networks, on your systems, on your IT infrastructure, who takes very serious ownership of what they do and the work that they do, because those people are the best people. That's it. Does that sound good, Rachel Bear? She's tired and it's time for supper. How come you're so cute? You want to say hi to everybody? Rachel. All right, so I spoke very quickly. I apologize if I spoke very, very quickly, but the sun is going down. We're losing light.